Growing up, I always told my family that I was going to become the greatest explorer the verse has ever seen. I wanted to go from one corner of the universe to the farthest reaches of space. Each night, my father would tell me stories about the great explorers who tamed the high seas on Earth and the first ones to ride the solar waves across Sol. I didn't know how, but I knew my name could fit somewhere in the history books. But I didn't see my start going this way. Being shipped out to the Stanton system on false charges of smuggling, starting an armed revolt, and disturbing the peace of all things. Words of advice: do not flirt with anyone from the Hurston family. They do not take kindly to people of my tax bracket. The Klesher Rehab Facility was my home for the next few months. Honestly, it took a little bit to get used to the whole living underground, the awful, harsh planet that we're living on, but eventually it kind of felt like a home away from home. Overall, prison hasn't been so bad. I've been finding ways to pass time. Planning my escape was the biggest time waster, but time heals all things, and eventually I was walking out a free man. One final goodbye to my fellow inmates, and I was heading to the surface. This unexpected trip to Stanton put me back to square one. I have nothing but a few handouts from some Move to Stanton program. All I have is a few credits, a flight suit, and one Aurora to my name. Thankfully, time hasn't changed much on the outside. Everest Harbor feels just like home, and it's just as chaotic as I would like it to be. My first interaction with some citizens was a good one, actually. Some kind stranger was handing out gear, and this little gift would be a huge head start for me. Yeah, the gear might be a little cracked and worn in, but hey, you know what? Anything's better than what I currently had. Now, all I need to do is get some self-defense and a backpack, and I'll be well on my way to making a name for myself in this corner of the galaxy. This will be the maiden voyage of the Audacious. She is bare bones, but I have no doubt that together we can actually make some credits and a name for ourselves somewhere in the system.
You are clear to launch. You are clear to launch.
The very first thing I need to do is get out of Hurston-controlled airspace as quick as possible. I want to disassociate myself from these people as quick as possible, but as soon as possible. They basically ruined my life, and I've never liked them to begin with, so let's get out of here. ArcCorp is where I'm headed with the hopes of some lucrative contracts and adding a few new contacts to my Moby class. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or not, but as soon as I got to ArcCorp, I got a beacon for a crash ship swarming with uninvited guests, and somebody wanted to escort them out. Upon approaching the crash site, I could just tell that I wasn't the first person here. The landscape was littered with debris from multiple ships, either crash landed or, even worse, shot down. It's kind of impossible to tell from here. Just outside my ship, I see a corpse. I run over there to go check it out, just to get any hint of what might have happened. But this honestly only leaves me with more questions. Obviously something went down here, and I feel kind of bad that I wasn't invited, but Expecting the worst, I ready my weapon and approach the wreck slowly. I did get lucky and find a fully loaded citizen just left out and abandoned. I did not need much from them other than their weapon and a few magazines to go with it. I'm starting to feel a little bit set up on this contract. I was supposed to be clearing out baddies, but instead it's just empty here. I didn't want to wait around for a scrapper to get the drop on me. Little Miss Audacious can't take much heat, so leaving now would be a great idea. I did feel a little bit let down from that open-ended contract, but I brushed the dirt off my boots and headed into deep space to respond to a stress beacon. Some negotiations went bad, and a whole ship has gone dark, and I've been tasked to investigate. Thankfully, this little Aurora is small enough so I can actually get nice and close to the ship's airlock, so not a lot of zero-G time for me, but it also makes a quick exit in case things go wrong. Right off the bat, I could tell this ship has seen better days, and I can say the same thing for the crew. It didn't take long before I stumbled across an engineer who seems to have been trying to repair this gravity generator with no luck. Seems like a bit too little too late. But these reclaimers are large ships, and the belly of the beast probably holds more clues to what happened here. Usually this part of these kind of ships is full of salvage or other cargo, but instead this place has become these poor people's tomb. The poor captain seems to be the worst off of the bunch, suspended high above the floor of the ship. I don't even want to think about what could have happened to that container, but at least he's put out of his misery now. I needed to reach him somehow though. He had the data that I was here for. But sadly, I did not learn parkour in prison, or this would have been a cakewalk. But I remembered I could probably completely break the gravity generator and turn off the gravity to the whole ship. So it was back to the front of the ship for me. With the ship turned into a horror scene, I floated my way back to the captain to find out exactly what happened here. With the data that I needed in hand, all I need to do is head out of the ship and head on over to the nearby orbital station to upload what I found to my handler and finally get my first paycheck. I'm not really quite sure what will happen to the crew or the ship itself, probably just washed, clean, and sold to the highest bidder, but you know what? I'm not paid to worry about those kind of things. Rumor has it this has been happening all over the system, so keep an eye out for these kind of contracts. They're nice and safe, not too bad. Once aboard the station, completing the contract was as easy as pulling up the details and hitting submit. That was the easiest 25 grand I've ever made. As a little celebration for completing my very first contract in Stanton, I helped myself to a drink at the bar. Obviously, nobody makes it out to these parts because even the bartender was missing from the station. So I helped myself to some water and headed back out. I didn't want to spend my whole paycheck on beverages, so I plotted a course back to Art Corp to pick up a package for another client. I need to go to a derelict outpost. Who knows what will be there, but normally it's never good. Thankfully, I'm not paid for my accuracy, but just results. The last two guys were a little bit more prepared for me, so they made the encounter a little scarier, but there was no match. Now with the package in hand, I did notice some smoke off in the distance. Now part of me wants to investigate, but I do know just how dangerous curiosity can be in the verse sometimes. With the lag storm incoming, I make my way off the planet. And now I finally have an excuse to make a trip to Area 18. The city at night is just absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I could ever get used to the hustle and bustle of it all. And now, before you say anything, I know delivering these packages won't make me rich by any means. And if honestly my ship was any bigger, this would just barely cover the fuel costs and repairs. But I do love an excuse for exploration and seeing what these outposts have to offer. And plus, the view from all the way up here isn't so bad, I guess. So maybe it's kind of like a bonus. And that's going to be a wrap on my first day in Stanton. Thankfully, the verse was easy on me today. Nothing too wild happened, and everything kind of actually went to plan. But the only thing left to do now is to find a place to land and sleep for the night. Thankfully, this little ship comes with a small bunk in the back, so all I really need is a safe landing zone, and I'll be off to Dreamland. And now here's that weird fourth wall breaking part of the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. You're an absolute legend. Also, I've been on a little bit of a hiatus the last month or so making this video got me all giddy and excited, picking the music out, getting all the shots. It's like I love making these videos. I don't care if 10 people watch it or 10,000. These videos are just so much fun to make, and I'm glad there are people out there that are enjoying them. I just cannot thank you guys enough. You've been a huge motivation to me to keep going, making these silly little stories in the verse. But just thank you. If you're new here as well, do all the basic YouTube stuff. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one. Also have a Discord where we like to put together game nights. I'm not as active on there as I'd like to be, but there are a lot of friendly people there that would love to have you aboard as a crew member doing whatever they want to do for the night. Yeah, anyways, don't really want to ramble too much on this outro, so thank you guys so much again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Hello, there's gotta be somebody out there. I'm stranded out in space, and I cannot believe it, I'm starving. This can't be the way I died.